Our top story today from the gatewaypundit.com, Trump's campaign releases a statement on Hunter Biden conviction that you're not going to want to miss. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and you're watching the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. Welcome back to the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours in around 10 minutes. Our top story today from Jim Hoff reports Trump finally responds to the 3 felony convictions of Hunter Biden. And let's see what he had to say. Trump's campaign took a moment to comment on the recent conviction of Hunter Biden, who was found guilty in all 3 felony charges related to gun possession after a 3-hour jury deliberation. Hunter now faces up to 25 years behind bars. Quote, following the conviction, Trump's campaign national press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, released a statement saying this trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which has raked in tens of millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Ukraine. Crooked Joe Biden's reign over the Biden family criminal empire is all coming to an end on November 5th, and never again will a Biden sell government access for personal profit. Matt Gaetz also weighed in on these charges, saying the Hunter Biden gun conviction is actually kind of dumb. And many different readers agreed with him, saying, look, this is all a distraction from the real criminal activity. What about Burisma? What about the prosecutors in Ukraine? How about the extortion, the drug peddling, the prostitution, perhaps the sexual taking advantage of minor women in foreign nations? What about that? Not to mention the crimes against humanity from Joe Biden today. The Oversight Project by the Heritage Foundation also released a statement saying that Hunter Biden is guilty. Everyone in the world has known that for a long time. To date, a jury in Delaware found him guilty, but do not take the bait. I plead with you. The media is going to say this is the rule of law working. It's even. What happened with the lawfare with President Trump and all their conservatives is now okay because they got Hunter on this one thing. That's not true. And I happen to agree with that statement as well. I believe that this is a distraction. They can say, look, well, we took out the president's son. I don't really think the president even cares. The president doesn't even rule his own life. So, I mean, there's only so much to say on that. We have to mention this next story from Christina Lila, who reports at thegatewaypundit.com that Joe Biden released a statement after his son Hunter was found guilty on all 3 gun felonies. It goes on to say that Joe Biden on Tuesday afternoon released a statement after jurors reached a verdict in Hunter Biden's criminal gun trial. Hunter Biden was found guilty, as we mentioned, and they proved Hunter Biden was smoking crack when he purchased a firearm in 2018. Joe Biden didn't mention his son Hunter's gun crimes, but he kept his focus on Hunter's drug addiction to garner sympathy, saying, as I said last week, I'm the president, but I'm also a dad. Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man that he is today. So many families who have had loved ones battle addiction understand the feeling of pride seeing someone you love come out on the other side and be so strong and resilient in recovery, Biden said. As I also said last week, I will accept the outcome of this case, and I will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal. Jill and I will always be there for Hunter and the rest of our family with our love and support. Nothing will ever change that. Well, I mean, that's still a nice statement. I'm sure there's some humanity left in this guy somewhere. But as you can see, I'm traveling right now around the world, hence why I'm not in my normal studio. I understand that we have job commitments, but in reality, you know that this guy is just being used as bait so that they can go after Trump and claim, hey, the justice system isn't unequal. Look at Hunter Biden. In other news, in pop culture, Colin Linebarger reports that a popular 40-year-old YouTube star dies in a, quote, unfortunate accident. Let's get into this. An extremely popular YouTuber died suddenly under vague circumstances. 40-year-old Ben Potter, who is known as a comic historian on the media platform, met his demise on June 8th in an unfortunate accident. According to his wife, Natalie, she did not elaborate on what led to this accident. As People magazine notes, Potter had become famous for creating audio dramas of comic books on his YouTube account, discussing the Marvel, DC universes, to name a few. He had assembled over 3 million followers at the time of his passing, reminding us all, side note, to take life seriously because you never know when the day is going to be your last. In her message to Ben's followers on Monday afternoon announcing his death, Natalie remembered him as a loving and genuine person loved by everyone around him. 2 days ago, on June 8th, my husband, Ben Potter, passed away in an unfortunate accident. As a husband, a son, a brother, a friend, or even just a stranger, Ben was loving and genuine. He was someone who would listen and make time for his loved ones. He would do his best to make everyone laugh and make sure that they were okay. He was our rock, and he'd reassure his loved ones whenever they needed it. Natalie then asked his followers to give her a period of privacy. We won't read that statement down below. Ben had posted, down here that he had 4,000 YouTube videos, but down here will say prayers to his loved ones. It is kind of confusing on what happened. No one wants to say, but we will wait and find out. Prayers to his family, as it is always tragic. Someone who's lost many loved ones, and maybe you have too. We really do want to take that stuff seriously and not make just entertainment of it. Speaking of the devil, Joe Biden is back in the news, once again falling apart at a Juneteenth event. She knew Suhlongasuhijeruhhnied. My president speaks in such a holy tongue that I can't even pronounce what he says anymore. It's like he's filled with the Holy Spirit of vodka. And he is, believes that, I don't know who, Beelzebub died on the cross for his sins. But this doesn't make any sense. So Christina Lila reports that this is why Joe Biden handlers usually hide him from several days after he returns from an overseas trip. Joe Biden completely fell apart Monday evening at the Juneteenth concert, which, by the way, is a fake holiday. And I don't care what people say. It's a divisive holiday. It's not legitimate. And in fact, we should be celebrating all Americans for the abolition of slavery in our country, because we're one of the few countries where all the white people killed each other in trying to abolish slavery, or at least that's what historians say. Don't know how accurate that is, but we'll go with the textbook for this show in particular. On Monday evening, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hosted a Juneteenth concert featuring Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle on the South Lawn of the White House. Joe Biden, a lifelong racist, signed a law making Juneteenth a federal holiday in 2021. No one knew what Juneteenth was until recently. Just 1 year before making it a federal holiday, Joe Biden had no clue what Juneteenth was, and he actually confused it with the Tulsa Massacre. But anyway, it didn't stop him from having a very odd remark. He spoke to the crowd, and he shared his thoughts on black people. It's quite quick, but check this out. Purple drank up. Here's our president.
She knows Suhlongasuhijeruhhnied, our freedom can never be secured. She knows Suhlongasuhijeruhhnied, our freedom can never be secured.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what's going on in our country. Honestly, I don't know what's happening. I'm just giving you the news updates on what you might have missed, but you didn't miss a lot because that's what's happening in our nation. Our last story is interesting, and you're not going to want to miss it. A guest contributor says that a library that fired a Republican makes a stunning admission. Let's check out what he had to say. A library that fired a Republican woman who encouraged members of her own party to run for specific elected offices has admitted to doing violence to GOP members' free speech rights. And while the firing already had been reversed previously, there's now a consent order that makes official the disreputable acts of the Dudley Tucker Library, the town of Raymond, New Hampshire. The American Center for Law and Justice said it obtained the victory in federal court with the consent order, with all the details of the library's dismissal of Arlene Coratiello, a GOP member of the state legislature. It was because she expressed her conservative views. As in many states, being a member of the state legislature is only a part-time position, and most state representatives hold additional jobs. Our client was a librarian at a local library. Representative Coratiello sent a letter to a local newspaper endorsing conservative candidates for a public library position. She endorsed these candidates because they took the controversial position that sexually explicit books should not be in the children's section of the library. What happened next was a shocking violation of the First Amendment. It goes on to say here directly, you can read the rest of the story, and we're glad that she got her job back. But really, these violations of our rights, it's always rules for thee, but not for me when it comes to these radical leftists who are destroying our countries and persecuting us. It's about time we do something. Am I right? I'm starting to get tired of just talking. It's like we need to get something into action. And no, I'm not Fed posting, but let's just be real here. Thank you for being patient with me as I am traveling the world right now. And so I am keeping my work mobile. It's not by choice, but by requirement, as my job sometimes requires me to move mobily, to cover things, and to do my work appropriately. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much again for supporting Gateway Pundits Week in Review. And may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.